hair day with Camille Rose, the Honey Collection. Hi everybody! So today I'm going to be doing my hair using Camille Rose's The Honey Collection. And in the Honey Collection it includes 4 products: the Fresh Honey Nectar, Honeydew, Honeycomb Curl Whip, and the Spiked Honey Mousse. Those are the 4 products I have now, so those are the 4 products I'm going to be using. So as you can see, my hair is a little bit damp, and that's because I'm going to start off with the deep conditioner, which is the Fresh Honey Nectar, just to kind of get some moisture into my hair before I even start styling it. Because I do have low porosity hair, deep conditioners are my friend. So let's just get started with everything. And I do want to read this out to you. It does say it's nettle root infused. So it says it's an intense hair soak infused with honey and nettle, crafted to soften, boost shine, and improve manageability. And it says you apply on freshly cleaned strands throughout hair and comb through. Leave it on for 15 minutes before fully rinsing with cool water. So I'm gonna part my hair just to make sure it gets to everywhere. So I will say this smells really strong. Like, it smells like I sat in honey for a whole day. That's how strong this honey nectar smells. It's really overbearing. And I'm just trying to make sure it gets super infused on the ends, because that's where I feel like my hair is the driest. If you have a wide tooth comb, this can help you kind of get everything raked through. And now I'm just going to comb everything through just to make sure it's everywhere. Okay, so now that this is done, I've wrapped it up on top of my head. I'm literally going to cover it up like so. And now we're going to just like wait 15 minutes for this to settle. So we'll wait 15 minutes and then we are going to wash it out, and I will be right back. Alright, so now my 15 minutes is up. I'm going to go rinse out my hair, and then I am going to come back and I'll tell you how I feel about this Fresh Honey Nectar product, and then we'll move on to the curl whip. So I'll be right back. So my hair is fully rinsed, and this is what I really think about the Fresh Honey Nectar. It was kind of silky to put on. There were certain parts that I felt like it wasn't getting into. Like I said, the ends of my hair tends to be the most driest part. So that part I felt like I had to keep putting a lot just to get it to the same consistency as everything else. But for the most part, it was very easy to put into. It was more creamy than it's silky, if that makes any sense. And you don't really need a lot of water to wash it out. I will say, when I was washing it out, my hair felt so nourished and so silky and so beautiful that I just wanted it to stay how it was when the water was going through it, because wow. If I wasn't using the rest of the products, I honestly probably would just leave my hair like this, just because of how my hair felt when I was rinsing everything out. It still feels a bit nourished. I definitely want to see how the ends do when it dries, just because once again that was the hardest part, to get that deep conditioner to interact with in a way where it looked like it was moisturizing it. And that's really where I am with this. It does smell strongly like honey, very, very strongly. It's not a bad smell, you know, thank you bees, but it's very, very strong. It's not a light fragrance. It's really, really strong. I don't know how else I can emphasize how strong of a fragrance it is. But if the rest of this collection does have that same strong honey scent, then I will say it makes sense because it's the honey collection, but at the same time it does feel like you're just sitting in honey, and when I go outside I don't want to really attract the bees. But overall, like, let's just see how we do from here. So starting up next, I am going to kind of do a little combo between the honeydew and the honeycomb curl whip. So usually when you are putting in cream into your hair, it's better to do it when it's a little bit damp. That way you can kind of rake it through really, really easily. So every time my hair dries, I will be using the honeydew, but for the most part we're going to start with the honeycomb curl whip because my hair is okay. It's drying already, but we're going to get everything in. Just clip this up. So I am just going to be using like a flat big brush for this part, and my hair is a bit damp, but just for the fun of it I am going to use the honeydew. And there's actually a little switch here to, I don't know if you could see that, like right here. You just press to like open and close. So right now I have it open and I'm just gonna spray. Just gonna brush that through. And I will say, just from this spray alone, I can tell that this whole collection is very saturated with honey. And now I'm gonna take my honeycomb curl whip. And this will not go down. Okay, there we go. Just one pump for right now. So that's one down. And I will say, just to speak on these products, this honeydew, the switch is interesting because I've never had a switch for a spray bottle, but I guess that's kind of convenient because if you don't want it to run or if you're packing it to go, you can at least shut it off and don't have to worry about the nozzle going down. I will say though, this nozzle, I really like it. It sprays a lot, like a lot. And it's like a nice fine mist. I am curious as to why this is bubbling up a bit at the tops. It kind of gives me the feel like, oh, there's soap in there. It's not soap, but it says it's like a liquid moisture refresher. It's a concentrated nourishiner infused with honey and nettle, crafted to moisturize, detangle, and refresh curls. So you spray throughout your hair before restyling or fluffing curls. May be used to revive a wash and go or add moisture to protective styles. So far, the first two things I have used, they have not just honey but nettle. So I wonder if this should be called the honey and nettle collection instead of just the honey collection. But I really do like the spray and the nozzle of this, just because you could switch it on and off, and then the spray is very big, very saturating, because it kind of got through everything, and I only did it like once or twice, whereas other times when I have to spray for a refresher, I'm pressing it so many times. Now this honeycomb curl whip is a texture defining super cream, and you guys saw that these curls are starting to get somewhere already, and it's a defining super cream infused with honey and nettle, crafted to boost shine, eliminate frizz, and hold styles in place. So you section the hair and apply generously on freshly washed and conditioned strands. May be used to moisturize or set braids, twists, and bantu knots. So pretty much, once again, so far everything in here has honey and nettle. We'll definitely check with the mousse to see what it is, but this cream, it's a bit smoother than I anticipated from a cream. It kind of comes off more like a hair lotion, because creams, they have a much thicker consistency and it's not so heavy. It's very, very lightly put. I didn't need a lot to saturate my hair. I will say though, as I was brushing it out, and you saw me brush this first strand a couple times, because when I first did it, it kind of made everything clump together into one big curl, and I want to have more separate curls throughout my hair. So this so far is doing a very good job. I just want to see how my hair dries and how my curls dry afterwards. So let's start the next section and keep going. Cream now. I will say this bottle is a bit hard to grip when your hands have the lotion in it. So alright, so I think I have done it, and now everything is in my hair. It's just time to, I guess, dry and diffuse, and I'm gonna kind of get it to maybe 80% dry before I put the spiked honey mousse in. So now it's diffusing time. Okay, so now my hair is about like maybe 50% dry. I'm gonna put the spiked honey mousse in now, so that way as it's drying fully, it could volumize. So this is the spiked honey mousse. It sounds like a drink. It's a spiked honey mousse, so let's see what it does. And it foams really quick, so I don't know if you can see this, but it's all liquid in here, and then it just foams right up. And I'm just gonna scrunch it all in. So it leaves like a sticky feeling on my fingers, but one thing I do appreciate is that this mousse doesn't have that extra white kind of crease that I see with some mousse. Well, not crease, like extra white residue that I see with some mousse so far. So just get this in. And last thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna flip over and put it in like that. Okay, so my hands definitely have like this sticky feel to it, which I am not a fan of. So after you use this mousse, please wash your hands. But it also, I noticed it melts in my hair so fast. There's only a few parts where I put a lot and extra into it where it still has like the white foam, but it melts really fast because this entire side, there's no foam on it. I do want to see how my hair is once it dries, to see whether it leaves like a really hard cast or it keeps my hair very, very soft. So before I even go into diffusing my hair again, I'm just gonna wash my hands because they are really, really sticky. So I will be right back with the diffuser. Okay, so now my hands are washed, which feels so much better. I'm gonna get back to diffusing, and hopefully my hair will come out really, really fluffy after this. So I have finally finished diffusing, and this is my hair 80% dry. I'm gonna let it air dry from this point on. I will say the spike honey mousse did not have any hard cast on my hair. It's still soft, it's still luscious. My hair and my hands definitely smell like honey, and probably nettle too, because everything in this collection has nettle in it. And just in terms of my overall, when it comes to this honey collection by Camille Rose, is that everything smells like honey. Like it's just saturated in honey. And it got to a point, because the scent was so strong, it felt like all I was doing was just taking a jar of honey and putting it in my hair. That's how strong of a scent it is. And honestly, thinking about it now, I feel like it's probably more than one jar of honey that I am putting on my head in order to even get that smell, because it is just really strong. And my hair, once again, it's really soft, which I appreciate. There's no hard cast. It's defined, and look at this, it's shiny. I don't have much frizz, only parts where like my hair dryer kind of just like went a bit off. But for the most part, I'm really surprised that I didn't have a lot of frizz. But then again, I did try to dry my roots first before I went in with the diffuser, so I think that kind of helped keep everything together. Now when it came to the Fresh Honey Nectar, that one, like I said before, it got my hair very silky smooth, especially when I was washing it out. The only complaint I have with that is like the super dry parts. I felt like it wasn't really absorbing into there, so I had to put a lot more. The honeydew, my favorite part of it honestly is the nozzle, because of that on and off switch and the spray. I would say it's a really nice refresher. It does kind of, if you put too much, have this like foamy little feel and look to it. But other than that, like you put just the right amount, it really saturates your hair. And with the Honeycomb Curl Whip, this one, more of a lotion. It's very nourishing, and it's easy to work with. The Spiked Honey Mousse, just be prepared to wash your hands right after, because it's so sticky, but it does not give you a hard cast. Like I feel it did help with the volume when it comes to my hair, but also a lot of my hair, there isn't as much frizz and everything is kind of defined and curled together, which is great. But yeah, just make sure you wash your hands, or be prepared to wash your hands right after, because it's really sticky. So this is my review of Camille Rose's The Honey Collection. If you have used this collection, or if you have used any other products by Camille Rose, let me know all down in the comments below. If you have any questions about it, if you have any suggestions, also let me know. And thank you so much. Bye.